Okay, so we are reviewing for our operations test that is tomorrow. So here is your first problem. 538 times 47. Make sure that you pause the video and take a few minutes to solve this problem. I'll be here when you get back. Alright, so my little helpers here in class, Brandon, Aaron, and Abby, just are finishing up these problems, so let's go over it. Brandon, what's the first step that you want to do if you're given a problem this way? Well, how do you need to set it up?
Make it so it's the 47 is under 538.
Good, so I want to do 538 times 47. And then you're going to start off with your ones. You're going to go 7 times 8 is 56. You're going to put the 6 down, carry the 5 up. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 5 is 26. Put the 6 down, carry the 2. 7 times 5 is 35, plus 2 is 37. Then we are moving over to our 10. So Abby, what do I need to fill in there? A 0. So I'm going to cross these off because I'm done with them. 4 times 8 is 32. Put the 2 down, carry the 3. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15. Put the 5 down, carry the 1. And 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Now, Aaron, what do I have to do now that I have those two numbers right there?
You have to add them.
Good. So I'm going to add them together. 6, 8, 7 plus 5 is 12. 3, 4, 5, 2. There's no decimals involved here, so I have 25,286. Okay, if you went wrong, try to figure out where you went wrong. Here is another one for you to try. 784 times 85. Remember to pause the video, solve the problem, then start the video back up and see how you did. Alright, so let's solve this one. So your first step is you are going to set it up vertically. And Brandon, talk me through how to solve this.
So first you do 5 times 4, which equals 20. So you put the 0 down there and put the 2 over the 8. And then 5 times 8 equals 40, plus 2 equals 42. So you put the 2 down there and 4 up there. You cross out the 2. And 5 times 7 equals 35, plus 4 equals 39, so you put it all down there. And then you add a 0 for tens. And then you do 8 times 4, which equals 32. You put the 2 down there, 3 up there. 8 times 8, 64, plus 3, 67. Put the 6 up there, cross out the 3. And then 8 times 7 equals 56, plus 6 equals 62, and you put it all down there, and then add it, which is 0, 4, 6, put a 1 up there, 6, 6.
Very good.
66,640.
Very good. Okay, if you went wrong, figure out where you went wrong. I'm going to guess that if you went wrong, a lot of you forgot about this 0. You want to make sure when you are moving over to the tens digit that you're adding in the 0. Okay, let's move on to division. You're going to be doing 1,386 divided by 24. I'm going to give you your little hint that when you start to do this, you should have your what I know column. Remember, if you need to review this, go ahead and look through the rest of the videos and find the one on the box method. All right, I'm going to give you some time to solve this problem. Good luck. All right, welcome back. So you can see that I've already started my what I know, and I know that now times 100 is going to be too high because it's 2,400 and I need to get to 1,300. So I'm going to go ahead and try it times 50. So I'm going to start with 24 times 5, and if I do 24 times 5, I will see that that gives me 120. So I really know that 24 times 50 is 1,200. which is pretty close to what I need it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and in my box, I'm going to put 24 over here, 1,386. And I'm multiplying by 50. So it's going to be 1,200. Abby, what do I do now?
You
Subtract. Good. So I have 6, 8, 1. And I'm going to take that 186 and I'm going to move that to a new box. Still the same. 3 minus 2 is 1.
Oh.
And I need to get close to 186. Well, times 10 is too high. So, Brandon, what did you try?
I did times 5.
Okay, and we already know times 5 is 120. So I'm going to put the 5 up here. And then if I subtract, I am left with 66. Well, let's see how close we can get to 66. I know that 24 times 2 is 48. I know that 24 times 3, if you need to do it over here, that's okay. That's going to be 12. That's going to be 72. That's too high. So I'm going to go ahead with the 2. And I'm going to have 66 minus 48. Can't do 6 minus 8, so you have to borrow. 16 minus 8 is 8. 5 minus 4 is 1. So I'm left with a remainder of 18. Remember, you then just add your numbers on the top. So that is 57, remainder 18. Okay, if you went wrong, see where you went wrong and try the problem again to see if you can get it right. Here is another example for you to try. 2,743 divided by 32. Remember, you want to start off with your what I know column about what you know about 32. Good luck. Okay, so let's go over this. You can see I filled in my what I knows. And I started off with 32 times 1, 10, and 100. And I saw that 100 was too high. Okay, it brought me up to 3,200. And I needed to be at 2,743. So then I was like, all right, well, let me try 60. 60 only got me to 1,920. So I was going to try 70, but I decided, hey, let's try 80 instead. And 80 got me pretty close, okay, to 2,560. So I'm going to go ahead and put 80 up top and 2,560. And then I will subtract. I can't do 4 minus 6, so I'm going to borrow. And that becomes 14. 14 minus 6 is 8. 6 minus 5 is 1. 2 minus 2 is 0. So I'm going to move my difference up to a new box. And now I want to get close to 183. Well, times 6 was too high. So I'm going to go ahead and try times 5. And that gives me 10. 160. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 5 up here. And do 160. Subtract. And that gives me 23 left over. If I add those two numbers on top, it's going to give me 85, remainder 23. Okay, remember, once your difference becomes smaller or equal, or smaller or 0, then your number you're dividing by, you can stop. Okay? All right, let's go to our next problem. On your test, you're also going to have addition and subtraction of decimals. So here you go. Try this problem. Remember, the most important thing when you are setting up your addition or subtraction of decimals is what? What do you want to do? Abby, somebody tell me. What do you want to do when you're adding or subtracting decimals?
Line them up.
Yeah, you want to line up your decimal point. So if I'm lining up and I'm adding, really pay attention to the operation. That's where a lot of people go wrong. Okay, so take a minute and solve this problem. All right, all three of my helpers got the same answer, so I'm hoping they are all right. So what I want to fill in here, since I have a blank spot, what goes there?
0.
0, right? You don't want to leave it blank. You want everything to line up. Then if we add that up, well, I'm going to drop my decimal point down. 8 plus 0 is 8. 0 plus 9 is 9. 3 plus 2 is 5. And 5 plus 0 is 5. So I end up with 55 and 98 hundredths. Okay, remember this is addition, not subtraction, so there was no borrowing. If you had to carry, then you would just carry it over like normal. Let's try a subtraction problem. 104 and 6/10 minus 33 and 53 hundredths. Remember to line up the decimal points, fill in zeros if you have to, and don't forget to borrow. All right, it looks like my three people had the same answers. There you go. And so now let's look at it together. So we have 104 and 6/10 minus 33 and 53 hundredths. Now there's a blank spot. That doesn't mean you get to ignore it. What do you have to put there?
0.
0, right? You can't do 0 minus 3. 0 minus 3 is not 3. So you have to borrow. 10 minus 3 is 7. 5 minus 5 is 0. 4 minus 3 is 1. And 10 minus 3 is 7. So you end up with 71 and 7 hundredths. Now, in real life, somebody's not just going to come up to you and say, hey, subtract these two numbers for me. Okay? There's going to be some sort of real life circumstance. For instance, like this one. On your test, there will be 2 word problems. Here's an example of one that a similar one could appear. Mrs. Vaslevik wants to get 3,210 pieces of candy for Landon's birthday party. The candy is sold in bags of 60 pieces. How many bags must she buy? How do you think we're going to figure this out? What operation do you think we should use, Brandon?
Division.
Division, exactly. We're going to divide the amount of candy that we need by the amount of candy in each bag to figure out how many bags we need.
Could you do it that way too?
Go ahead and try this problem, and I'll be right back.
210 left, and you just have to do that.
All right, let's take a look at this. So remember, I'm buying all this candy for Landon's birthday party, and I'm going to divide because I know I need 3,210 pieces, but each bag only has 60 in it. So we need to divide to see how many bags we need. So we know that 60 times 1 is going to give us 60. So 60 times 100, if I have to add 2 more zeros, that's going to give me 6,000. That's way too high. So we're going to try 50. 60 times 5 is 300. So 60 times 50 would give me 3,000. So we're going to go ahead and start off with that. And I'm going to try to go kind of quickly here because I'm running out of time. 60. 3, 2, 1, 0. So I'm going to put 50 up here and I'm going to subtract. 0, 1, 2. You're going to put 210 in your new box. I know that 60 times 3 is going to give me 180. And then if I subtract, that gives me a remainder of 30. So 53 bags with a remainder of 30. Can I buy a remainder of 30 bags? Can I buy only 30 out of 60 of a bag? No. So how many bags do I really need to buy?
54.
54. I need to buy 54.
You could just take 30. You could just take 30.
Yeah, and then I could take 30 out of the bag and throw the other 30 in my hiding spot. Okay, so in this kind of problem, if you have a remainder, you want to bump up that number to the amount of bags you need. Good luck. Your test is tomorrow. Adios.